What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome to an album review. We're talking about the new one from B1A4, titled Rollin, same as the song that they're using to promote it. I had tried to do where I had kind of in the back of my mind intended on doing a song review of the song, but put it on repeat and I listened to it for a good, solid 3-4 hours on repeat, which is a lot. And ultimately I came away with nothing really extensive to say about the song. And as I listened to the album, I kind of realized that, what I can say about the entire album itself does in a sense apply to the song Rollin itself. So as you listen to this album review, just keep in mind that if you want to hear what I think about that song, I've already basically stated what I said and what I think about that song, but what I say about this album as a whole does also apply to the song Rollin as well. So just kind of take that as this video is a 2-for-1 or 1+1 or whatever it is in Korea. You buy one, you get one free. You're getting a little bonus content or something like that. Double video that's got double, I don't know, whatever. Let's get into it. So first off, basically we just lead with saying that for me, as I listen to this album, I really enjoy listening to it, but there is nothing about this album necessarily that stands out to me as, amazing or noteworthy or as a highlight exactly that is, that I feel that I personally that there is nothing that has given me a very serious reason to spend a lot of time talking about it as whether it's good or bad. It's just one of those albums that's it's right there in the middle of the road. It's a solid dead average score of something that's not horrible. There's not a song on this album that I actually really dislike, but there's not a song on this album that I really do like. Like I said, that does apply to my opinion on the song Rollin itself. It's a good song. I enjoy listening to it. It's not something that I'm going to be, putting on repeat or that I'm going to be going to listen to frequently from today on, but it's also not something that I'm, won't every once in a while choose to listen to, or skip it altogether if it does come up on my playlist. It's just a song that's nice. It's good to listen to every once in a while. I don't love it. I don't hate it. And what I feel about that song, or the way that I feel about the album, which is I love it, but I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's okay. I like it. Does also apply to that song. The album itself does have a pretty good variety in songs to it, in the songs on the album, which is really nice because it's sometimes you get albums that are very a lot of the songs are obviously different because they sound different, but they have the same genre of music, they have the same feel. They're just not a wide enough variety in the album, in the track listing, to make it something that is super interesting. But in the, I think it's 6 songs that they had for this mini album, they explored a pretty wide variety of different genres of music, different feels, when it comes to the tempo and just the general emotional states of the music and stuff like that. So every single song, while it's kind of coming off of the same idea, the same general premise that Rollin was based off of, that's what the foundation of that song was, they're still distinctly different songs in really big ways, and that's really good. It makes what might otherwise be an album that I just listen to a couple of times and then I never go back to. It makes it something that it makes the journey of listening to this album from start to finish really enjoyable, because every song is different, every song gives a little bit of a different feel, and honestly, as you listen to it, it's actually a really good journey, because they all do kind of play off of each other and kind of combine and mesh to create a really good journey, listening journey, as you go from the first song all the way to the last. It's really good. And like I said, it's always nice when there's when an album brings up a little bit of variety in the track listing, because sometimes it doesn't, and it makes it an entertaining experience to listen to the album. There's nothing, as I already said, nothing really stands out as particularly impressive, but you know, as I kind of hinted at, the entire package of this album is really, really nice. You know, it's one of those albums that is, you know, energetic, or, you know, I suppose the best description of it is it's kind of a moderately paced album. It's not like super crazy, you know, bouncing off the walls. You know, you're hopped up on sugar and caffeine. You drank like 5 pots of coffee and you're just going insane because you're on that like caffeine overload, or maybe at that point you probably shut down. But you know, it's not music that's like super, you know, on steroids energetic, but it's also not something that is like completely, you know, like the music that is very, very much, you know, just heavily emotional, that doesn't have any energy to it because it's so sad and depressing. This album finds itself squarely in the middle for every single song on this album, which is really, really nice. So it's kind of one of those albums where, like, you know, if you wanna like kind of get up and dance, or if you wanna like sit there and just kind of like bob your head and get into the beat of and the groove and the flow of the song, you can do that. You can do that while listening to this album. Or if you just want to like sit back and relax and just enjoy the flow and the journey of this album, you know, you can do that too. You know, it's not paced at with the tempo of the songs. The tempo of this album is not something that is just naturally going to get you swept away in the current. It's not super fast paced, but it is definitely moving somewhere with a little bit of purpose. But it's not gonna, you know, drag you along with. It's not gonna, you know, just like grab you by the arm and start, you know, dragging you down the street however fast it's going, on accident, because if you don't want it to. So if you don't want to get caught up in the energy, you don't have to. But if you want to go with the flow, if you want to do that, then you can do that. It's definitely a really nice experience. I mean, in fact, for me personally, last night I was doing work on, you know, curating news and stuff like that, and just seeing what's going on in K-pop and Korean music in general. And I was having a little issues with my internet connection. It was dropping on me constantly. I was getting really frustrated. And you know, by the time that I finished all of the work that I really wanted to do, and I was absolutely done with my internet, I quit because the internet was not working, and I was also like 75% done with the work that I wanted to get done. In order to just like kind of relax and unwind and just like kind of release my frustration a little bit, I did actually just like go to this album. I sat here, laid on or laid over on the bed that's right over, you know, whatever, and I just laid down and I just listened to it, and I just like went through the flow of the song, and I just loved it. It's a really good song. It's a really good album. You know, it just let me unwind at the end of a, you know, stressful day, and, you know, I suppose set me up, really put my mind at ease, and, you know, set me up to go to sleep, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. And like, it didn't put me to sleep, but it did, like, you know, kind of help flesh out all of the, you know, the you know, calm my mind from racing so much, so that I could be in a good position to just go to sleep. When it comes to favorite songs on this album, I definitely do like the song called, or I really like the song called Smile Mask. Yes, it is Smile Mask. Smile Mask, it doesn't make any sense to me, but it's the name of the song, and I mean, I enjoy it. They're channeling a little bit of you know, the essence of Cyan Blue in this song. It's a little rock song. It does feel like it could potentially be a song from Cyan Blue, which is really awesome. And then the final song in this album is spectacularly good. Like, it's not a song that's like going to be like, oh my god, this is amazing, but in the context of this album, it's just an absolutely fantastic finale to this album. You know, normally K-pop albums do end with a ballad song or something that is more emotional, and they don't stray away from that trend in this specific album, or in this specific instance. But it's definitely not. It's not a song that is like kind of devoid of energy. They kind of keep up with a little bit of the, you know, synthesizer, electronic, you know, music going with this. It's really good, and it's just a really fantastic, really nice and lovely song to listen to, and it's right up there. Like, if it's not tied neck and neck with Smile Mask as being my favorite song off this album, it's like maybe, you know, Smile Mask is like at 100, and the final song on this album is at like 99. Like, if I were to give them a scores out of 100. So that is that. Like every single song on their own is really enjoyable to listen to. Nothing amazing, nothing bad, just good. And that just means, of course, that the entire album is nothing amazing, nothing bad, but just good. And so I suppose that's good. But this is also, you know, a good result, I suppose, for the fact that B1A4 has gone with something that is a little bit different from what they normally do, because it's very possible that when a group experiments, that they're just going to absolutely fail with delivering a good product. You know, it is what it is. You take a risk by going outside of your comfort zone or doing something you've never done before. K-pop groups are pretty good at it because it's kind of like their job is to be versatile and do all kinds of different things and concepts when it comes to the sound or even the visual aspect of it. So it's not really, you know, that crazy to me that they did a really good job with this, but at the same time, it's always a risk. You never know if it's going to come off good or not, and B1A4 did a pretty good job with this, with the song Rollin and the entire album Rollin. So that's all that I got to say. I'm gonna wrap it up, finish it up. This one's not gonna have a score because I just didn't have the time to, or I couldn't. I don't want to put in a score on this album, so we're not gonna have a score. In the ones in the future, though, we will have a score because I did decide that scores are going to be a thing. So that is going to be it. Tell me what your favorite song off on this album was. And of course, or just your thoughts on this song, on this album in general, what you liked about it, what you didn't, you know. Tell me what you thought. We can discuss about it. We can discuss it down in the comments with myself or other members of the community, because that's what we're here for, is to provide a topic for some discussion and for you guys to share what you guys think, whether you like this thing or you don't like it. You know, just be completely open and honest with it and discuss it in a friendly manner, because that's what this community is all about. And you know, if you want to join that community, then please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. So that's going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.